The filter pressure gauge is a key indicator right here on whether your filter is dirty or whether it's clean. Hi, my name is Sean. I'm with ReliablePoolSolutions.com. Here coming to you with a breakdown on how to service a DE pool filter. When a clean filter is operating, the pressure is going to be dictated based on your pool. It could be 5 pounds, could be 10 pounds, could be 20 pounds. But a clean pressure, you want to make note, because once that pressure elevates over a course of 6 months, maybe a year, it will increase to 5 pounds, 10 pounds, then you know it's dirty. You need to get service, call a professional out to do it. Today we're going to be breaking down the Pentair SMB W4000 series 60 square foot filter. I'm going to give you a step-by-step process of how this task is accomplished. A couple safety precautions you might want to consider. I'm wearing sunglasses. It's a good idea to have that on. And the skill level on this is probably an intermediate. The equipment that we're going to need for this process is you're going to need a tube of Magic Lube. It's a Teflon type lube for the O-ring. Also a good idea to have a replacement O-ring. You can find that at ReliablePoolSolutions.com. I recommend just a white towel. It's always handy when you got dirty hands, and it's better than using your shirt. All right, come on folks, let's get started. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shut this pump off. This is a Pentair IntelliFlow pool pump. So first thing we gotta do is disconnect the communication cable from the pump. I can go ahead and shut the pump down now. Now we need to backwash this filter. The backwash valve is located at the base of this filter on the SMB W4000 series. Some of them are located on the side. For this particular model, it's located at the base. We're going to turn that to backwash. That's done. Now we're going to come back over here. We're going to backwash the filter. So we'll go ahead and start this filter back up. What we're looking here for in the sight glass is for you're going to see dirty water going down into the P-trap. Eventually this water will start to clear up, indicating that we've removed a good percentage of the diatomaceous earth from this filter. So give it about 45 to 60 seconds and then we'll shut the filter back down and we'll tear it apart. All right, so the pump's shut off now. Let's go ahead and we're going to bleed all the air out of this tank. The water level is going to come down below the level where we're going to remove the lid so I don't get soaked. I'm going to go ahead and remove the clamp. As you can see, this filter is very dirty, so we'll be cleaning that as well. Comes the fun part. We're going to take the lid off, and the goal is not to be soaked. Mission accomplished. All right, so I'm going to remove the lid. Right over in this area. You can see there's DE and various debris all over the filter, but we're going to break this down and make it nice and clean. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and remove this piece here. As you can see by backwashing the filter, look at all this debris that's still caked on in between these grids. That's why backwashing it is just not sufficient. You have to have a professional go out there and service it thoroughly. So let's go ahead and take this out to the yard where we're going to hose it down. This is a relatively delicate process because these nipples at the bottom are just made out of plastic, so they can be very fragile and they certainly can crack and break. It's always good too to do this area in an area that we can rinse all this debris down, like a grassy area, maybe where there's a drain. That way all this dirt and debris will just go back into the earth. Okay, what you see here is now we have 8 grids here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hose these down real good, get them clean, and the last part of this process is going to be to inspect the grids for any rips or tears. We've got all the grids rinsed off. Before I move them over there, I'm going to clean that tank out real good and then bring them back and set them in place. So right now we're just using fresh water from the garden hose to fill up all this debris, liquefy it, and send it right down back into the backwash on the P-trap. So now we're going to start reassembling our filter. We've already inspected the grids. They are still a little bit dirty, but they're a little bit older, so we're going to recommend to the homeowner that they replace the grids here in the next 6 months to a year. You can see how there's definitely a process to carefully aligning all these filter grids as each and every one of them has their place. Last thing we'll take is our tank O-ring. Keep your towel close at hand. And we're going to re-lubricate it with our Magic Lube. There we go. Let me just wipe my hands off and then we'll get that tank lid back in place. Basically, I've turned the filter back on. I'm filling the tank up and then I'm going to shut it back down. It's going to assist me in getting this filter tank lid back in place. Because it's still in the backwash setting, just close the valve, and as the water drains, there's a big air bubble in here. It's pulling through gravity, it's pulling that lid back down. Secure your clamp nut nice and snug. To turn your backwash valve back over to run, and then let's turn our pump back on. See, your pump basket is starting to clear up with clear water. You want to open up your bleeder valve right here to bleed off any air residual inside your tank. That should be your clean pressure now. Your clean pressure is right around 12 psi. So we're going to realign that. As our indicator it says start, our start is at 12 psi roughly. When it reaches about 20 to 22 pounds, we got to clean it again. Okay, last step. Let's take our 10-pound bag of DE and we're going to replace it into our skimmer. Remove the pump basket or the skimmer basket. Remove the diverter. Filter powder will dissolve and liquefy and it will stick to the filter grids, and this is what actually filters the water down to 1/10 the size of a human hair. Replace the basket. Replace the skimmer lid. And that's it. The last thing we gotta do is check to make sure we have no blowback in the return lines. Doing a quick visual of the pool. The return lines look all clear. The pool looks like it's in good shape. So this thing would be ready to swim in right now. I'm gonna go grab my trunks and go for a swim. Okay, we just wrapped up doing a full service on a filter. Make a mental note of this filter gauge after it's been cleaned, because once that pressure increases by 5 or 10 pounds, guess what? It's time to clean the filter again. If you're not comfortable with this process, or you feel like this might be a little out of your scope of practice, contact a pool professional in your area and they'd be happy to assist you with this process. Otherwise, for any additional parts or products, contact ReliablePoolSolutions.com. We'd be happy to assist you. Have a good day.